بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد عن صهيب رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قال كان ملك في من كان قبلكم وكان له ساحر فلما كبر قال للملك إني قد كبرت فبعث إلي غلاما أعلمه السحر فبعث إليه غلاما يعلمه إلى آخر الحديث أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات. In our last dars, in our last gathering, we began this hadith number 6 in the chapter of Sabr, narrated by Suhaib al-Rumi radiallahu anhu, where he narrates from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam an incident of the past, from the past nation. And we mentioned that this is the sunnah and the tariqah and the method of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he would narrate any true story from the previous nation in order to teach lessons to us, to the Sahaba, and to strengthen our iman, to strengthen the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. And also in the Quran Sharif, we see many places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought stories of the previous prophets, previous nations, again for us to ponder upon and to take lessons from, in order to understand which way we need to head so we can be successful in this world and we can be safe and protected from being failure in this world and the hereafter. So this hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that from the previous nation there was a king. Now the ulama say that this happened around 70 years before the birth of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this king of Najran, he was alive, and in his time there was a sahir, there was a magician. This magician, he was growing old, so he said to the king that, look, I am growing old, and if I die in this manner, the skill that I have, the knowledge I have of magic, it will also disappear and finish with me. So why don't you send to me a young person who I can teach the skills that I have? So the king, he looked around and he searched and he found a young person, a young boy by the name of Abdullah ibn Tamir, and he said to him that, look, this is your task. Every day you go to the magician and you study by him and you understand this skill and you learn this skill. So the young boy, he would set off from home every morning and he would go to the magician. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now continuing the hadith, he says that فَبَعَثَ إِلَيْهِ غُلَامًا. So a child, a young boy was sent towards this magician, يُعَلِّمُهُ, to whom this magician is going to be now teaching and educating. فَكَانَ فِي طَرِيقِهِ إِذَا سَلَكَ رَاهِبٌ فَقَعَدَ إِلَيْهِ وَسَمِعَ كَلَامَهُ فَأَعْجَبَهُ. Now this young boy would set off from home towards the place of this magician. And once it happened that he was on his way, he realized and he noticed that there is a monk, there is a rahib on his path, in his route. So he thought that, let me just sit by him, let me see who he is, let me just get to know this person. So he sat, فَقَعَدَ إِلَيْهِ وَسَمِعَ كَلَامَهُ. So when he sat with this monk, the monk started speaking. Now monk in the Christianity, it was very common in that time that to save their faith, to save their belief in the time of oppression and the king was tyrant, so to save their religion, they would go in the outskirts of the city, outskirts of the town. So they would go away from everybody and they would sit in seclusion on their own in order to protect their own faith. Now in our deen, there is no such as this. In our deen teaches us that you don't go away from everybody. Rather, you stay within your community. You stay within the people and you don't just worry about your own iman, you don't just worry about your own faith. You have to worry about the faith of your others, those who are from your family members, those who are from your community, and on the entire ummah. Entire ummah. So this is what we have. So we have to stay within the community, we have to work, we have to earn, we have to live a life, we have to interact with people, we have to socialize in the correct manner, and understand our own deen, understand how to protect our deen, get into the company of those who will guide us, and have those habits that will help us to protect our faith, and at the same time have the worry and the concern of your own immediate family members and those who are other relatives and those who are in your neighborhood and everybody. So this is what Islam teaches us, that you don't just go away from the people, rather you stay within the people. So these monks would go away to protect their faith, to stay safe from being oppressed, or to stay safe from idol worshipping or any type of shirk. So this young boy would travel, and on the way he would meet this monk, and he would sit in his company, he would sit with him. So وَسَمِعَ كَلَامَهُ. So this monk would give him some advice. He would talk about Tawheed. He would talk about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Creator. فَأَعْجَبَهُ. And the boy would listen to what the monk had to say, and he would be very impressed. He would feel very happy by sitting in his company, and it would be very interesting for this child. So he would sit in his company. فَكَانَ إِذَا أَتَى السَّاحِرَ مَرَّ بِالرَّاهِبِ وَقَعَدَ إِلَيْهِ. So now you would sit there for a short while. After some time, you would go towards this magician. Now he would sit with the magician. Whatever the magician had to teach him, he would sit with the magician and he would learn from him. Now on the way back towards the home, he would again sit in the company of the monk and learn from him and study from him and listen to his advice. And then he would return back home. Now what would happen is that فَإِذَا أَتَى السَّاحِرَ ضَرَبَهُ. When he would do this, so he would set off from home. On the way, he would stop at the place of this monk, and then he would reach the place of the magician. Now, obviously, because you had stopped in the middle, you would get delayed in reaching the place of this magician. So this magician would say that, look, you were expected at this time, you're 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour late. So because of being late, ضَرَبَهُ, you would hit him. He would hit him, that he would beat him up, that look, you're coming late, why are you doing this? So فَشَكَى ذَلِكَ إِلَى الرَّاهِبِ. So a young boy didn't say anything. He kept quiet, he kept his mouth closed, he didn't expose, he didn't mention what was happening on the way. However, when he was on the way back, and when he went back to the rahib, to the monk, فَشَكَى ذَلِكَ, he complained to this monk that, look, this was happening, that look, I'm setting off from home at this time, I'm expected to be at the place of this magician, but because sitting in your company, I'm getting delayed, and he's, beating me up. So he complained to this rahib, to this monk. فَقَالَ. Now this monk, he gave him a solution. He gave him a way to deal with it and to how to handle it, and he explained to him how to give the answer. So فَقَالَ إِذَا خَشِيتَ السَّاهِرَ فَقُلْ حَبَسَنِي أَهْلِي وَإِذَا خَشِيتَ أَهْلَكَ فَقُلْ حَبَسَنِي السَّاهِرُ. So the monk told him that, look, when you go to the magician and you have fear that he may hit you, so what do you say? You make an excuse of حَبَسَنِي أَهْلِي, that my family has kept me behind. They have caused me to come late and they have delayed me. So say to the magician that, look, I have been delayed because of my family. So وَإِذَا خَشِيتَ أَهْلَكَ فَقُلْ حَبَسَنِي السَّاهِرُ. Now on the way back, you're going to be in my company. That means that when you're supposed to be at home, you're going to be late at home as well. So you're supposed to be at home at a certain time. Coming into my company on the way, you're going to be delayed reaching home also. So now when you reach home and when you going to your own home, your family members are also going to ask you the question. Your family members are also going to interrogate you that, where have you been? Why are you late for? So now if your family member also ask you that, why have you come late? So what answer should you say? He said, the monk told this young boy that, reply to your family members, حَبَسَنِ السَّاهِرُ, that the magician has delayed me. I was in the company of the magician and I have been delayed in coming to you. Now there's a question here, that this monk, if you look at it, he's a person who's supposed to be conscious of his creator. He's supposed to be the truthful one. Here he's teaching this young child to lie in one way. He's teaching this young child, and when you go to the magician, say that my family members caused me to delay. Or when you go home and say that the magician has caused me to come late. So if you look at it in one way is lying. So the scholars have explained that this is in one way, through certain wisdom, he had to make up a story. And in one way, it's not even a lie as well. Now, how is it that, how can we combine this, that is not a lie as well, and how can we understand? By saying to the magician that I have been delayed by my family. I have been delayed by my family. The meaning of this is that, remember, your biological parents are your family, and those people who are going to connect you to your original creator, to your creator, those people who are going to help you to go back to your creator and connect yourself to your creator, they are also your family. They are also your family. So there comes that your ustad are like your parents. Your ustads are like your parents. Your biological parents help you to come into this world. Whether your teachers, your ustad will help you to come back to the real home, to link back to our creator. So here he said he's not lying, because the monk is telling that, look, your family is your family, but him being in that position and the status of the family, so he says to tell the magician that, look, I've been delayed by family. So this is also in one way true. Now when you return home and your family members are going to ask you, why have you come late? Tell them that, look, I have been delayed by the magician. Now this is not also a lie. Why? Because in reality you did go to the magician and you have come back from the magician's home. You have come back from the magician's place. So you haven't exactly lied. You have come back from there, and in this way you'll be safe and you'll be protected. So this is the solution the magician gave to this young boy. So now when this was happening, فَبَيْنَمَا هُوَ عَلَى ذَلِكَ, now when this used to happen, that he used to give the answer. Now once it happened that when he was on his journey of returning, إِذْ أَتَى عَلَى دَابَةٍ عَظِيمَةٍ قَدْ حَبَسَتِ النَّاسِ. Now on the way there was an incident. There was some story that took place. And what was that? He was returning and he noticed that in some area there is a animal, there's a beast, there's a dangerous animal there. Because of the animal being in the pathway, the people are scared to go forward. The people are scared to move forward. And this beast or this animal has stopped them. Now what is this animal? One says it may be a lion, or one says it may be a serpent, or a poisonous snake. So because of this animal being there, the people were scared to continue, and they didn't move. فَقَالَ الْيَوْمَ أَعْلَمُ السَّاحِرُ أَفْضَلُ أَمِ الرَّاهِبُ أَفْضَلُ. So now this young boy, he thought to himself that, look, today is the time, or today is the day where I can test. What can I test? I can test now, is the magician on the truth? Is the magician on the haqq? Or is the monk on the haqq? I'm going to two people here to learn something. In one place I'm learning about this, and in the magician I'm learning about this. Who is the truth? And who's on the right path? Who is on haqq? So I can test this. And I can take the right path and choose the right path. So he says, الْيَوْمَ أَعْلَمُ السَّاحِرُ أَفْضَلُ. Now today is the day where I can find out and I can realize that if the magician is the superior, or if is he on the right, or is the monk on the right. So this, he tried to understand that whose company is beneficial. The company of the monk is more beneficial, or the company of the magician is more beneficial. فَأَخَذَ حَجَرًا فَقَالَ اللهم إن كان أمر الراهب أحب إليك من أمر الساحر فاقتل هذه الدابة حتى يمضي الناس. So this young boy, he took a stone and he made dua. He made dua to Allah. Having this stone in his hand, he said that, Allahumma, that, oh Allah, إن كان أمر الراهب أحب إليك من أمر الساحر فاقتل هذه الدابة. If the matters of the monk, if the life of the monk, if the company of the monk is more beloved to you than the company and the matters of the magician, if the monk is more beloved to you than this magician, فَقْتُلْ هَذِهِ دَابَّةِ, I am throwing this stone. If the monk is more truth, more on the right path, and he is more haqq, then with this stone I'm throwing, فَقْتُلْ هَذِهِ دَابَّةِ, kill this animal. Kill this animal, make this animal to cause him to die, so that the people can walk past and go past. And it happened. فَرَمَاهَا فَقَتَلَهَا وَمَضَى النَّاسِ. So he threw this stone, threw this rock towards this, either the snake or the lion, and the animal died on the spot. The animal died on the spot. وَمَضَى النَّاسِ, and the people went past. So now this he realized. When he tested, with his eyes he witnessed this. فَأَتَى الرَّاهِبِ, he quickly came to the monk. He came to the monk. فَأَخْبَرَهُ فَقَالَ الرَّاهِبِ, so he narrated the story to the monk. That look, this was happened on the way. What did the monk say? How did he reply? How did he praise this young boy? Inshallah, we'll continue in the next gathering. One lesson we learn from this is company. Hazrat Mufti As-Sahibi mentioned in that bayan the other day, very important points about company. It's very, very important that we choose the right company. If you choose the right company, your iman will be safe. And not only yours, from this story you will realize the iman of the entire community will be safe. The iman of the entire and the faith of the entire community could be protected as well. So always choose the right company, because you're not only affecting you, you're affecting others as well. Sometimes some people say that, my child has got a company of a person who doesn't have iman, and they're only, hanging around for a short while. Anything happens, they don't, there's not much interaction with them. This ulama explained that, the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is about having camel. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam explains about company. When you have a camel or when you have a sheep, being in the company of the camel, it brings pride inside a person. He thinks great of himself. He thinks of himself wealthy. But being in the company of somebody, some animal like a sheep, it makes him humble. So if an animal can cause an effect to the person, if an animal can influence a person, what do you think of a human being? So do not think that, he's only hanging around with this person and he's not smoking with them, or he's not hanging around with them, he's not doing with them. The harm and the effect of this will be seen later on, will be felt later on. So always make sure that we choose the right company, physical company, and also online as well. We have to make sure that we don't just let our children go online anywhere, anyhow. There are many, people online that will cause the person to leave his iman. And it happens, there are many stories. There are many stories that, the person is doing hifz. MashaAllah, he's doing hifz, and he's completed hifz, and the parent decided to give him a phone. And he said, yeah, you've achieved this, let's give you a phone. He got the phone, and not very long later, he started losing connection with the Quran and he was busy on his phone. And it came to this place, the time where he nearly lost his memorization of the Quran as well. So, we have to make sure that we choose the right company, and for our children as well, we give them the right company as well. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our gathering. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to choose the right company and to protect our iman, and protect the iman of our children, and also protect the iman of our community and the entire ummah. Allahumma ameen. Have mercy upon the ummah as well, especially those who are suffering in Palestine as well. Allahumma ameen. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun ala al-mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, bi rahmatika ya rahman.